FusionFall, one of the most ridiculous MMOs ever made. Just the premise of all Cartoon Network characters teaming up together to fight a green goo guy, like that shouldn't have worked, but it did. From the areas to the characters, FusionFall had a charm that I've never felt from an MMO before and after. Released January 13th, 2009, and using fan favorites like Dexter, Ben 10, and Courage the Cowardly Dog was the main draw for all of the kids, but after a certain point you had to buy a subscription to play the rest, being the reason a lot of kids never got to play this masterpiece, which is sad. The story though is pretty interesting. A big goo dude called Lord Fuse tries to basically eat the planet, so everyone has to team up to defeat him. Some get corrupted though, and they became the bosses. Or were they just clones? I don't remember. And some extra time travel shenanigans that I didn't understand as a child. That's basically it, to be honest. But now on to my favorite part, the nanos. Oh, the nanos. They were tiny out of proportion characters with each having its own ability, like Wilt being able to make you jump higher. They were adorable and sometimes necessary. For example, climbing the treehouse. Or they would help out in the races. Speaking of races, these would have a set amount of time and you would need to collect all of the items and reach the finish line in that time. I remember doing this a ton as an XP farm, but the coolest one was probably the Megas XLR. It was a giant robot that had a car for a head, but it was all green and gross looking from being corrupted by the goo. One more interesting little tidbit, the door to Ed's cardboard fortress is literally just two giant planks. I thought that was hilarious. Now on to the ending level. It was just you fighting your way to Lord Goo Man himself, but after I beat him, I would never turn in the quest to get the reward. I would just abandon it and go back to Samurai Jack for the quest again. Cause after you beat him, there wasn't anything left to do, really. I guess I didn't want the game to just end. But all good things must come to a close. After 4 good years, they shut down the servers for FusionFall. For good. It just couldn't survive after some behind the scenes stuff happened, and in any case, the game was gone for what looked like forever. But the fans had something different in mind. A small group of people decided to rebuild FusionFall, making 2 separate versions, but we'll be focusing on the version where the fan developer fixed shit and even added some new stuff. FusionFall Legacy. Everything's good, alright? No! Cartoon Network decided to put a massive stick up their ass and file the DMCA, shutting down both running versions. What load of bull... Like, my tiny brain can't see any reason they'd want to shut it down besides, I don't know, spite because the fans did it better than them. Who knows? But it's all okay. Another version came out called FusionFall Open Fusion, which breathed life into the FusionFall community once more. To be honest, I haven't played the new versions of the game. I only played the OG version way back when. Now though, I might have to see about playing FusionFall one last time, for nostalgic purposes. But I've got to hand it to the fans that made this happen. It's crazy just how much love is out there for this game. So I'm gonna give FusionFall Mojo Jojo giving in to his primal instinct to eat a barrel full of bananas over 3 Adventure Time snails, but one of them might be evil. I bet you can't tell which one. Tee.